of November. We're getting vocal. Alongside me, Andrew McLean, today are Jane Moore and Sherrie Houston. Mary Berry, star of the Great British Bake Off, who has helped the nation reignite their love affair with baking. Well, she joined in the fun on Strictly, but today she's been saying how important it is for families to prepare meals together and make time to sit down and eat together. She has said weighing out the ingredients and learning where the food comes from is educational, but it also helps to place mealtimes at the heart of family life. We never had dinner in front of the TV. So do you think that cooking together is the key to creating happy families, Colleen?
Yes, I'm sure it is.
Is it like that in your house?
No. Well, firstly, I'm a terrible cook and I hate cooking, so Ray does the majority of the cooking. I mean, I can cook, I just don't really get enjoyment from it, whereas he does. And if I try and kind of help him, I don't help him cook, but, you know, he'll put the spoon down and I'll put it in the dishwasher and he goes, "Where's that spoon?" And I go, "Oh, I've just..." because he's a dirty cook.
I wondered what you were going to say. Okay.
But I have to say that Kira is doing cooking at school, so every second Wednesday she has to take all the ingredients in. She has to weigh it all out first and then take it in. And then she comes home very
She weighs it out first?
She has to weigh it out. It's at home.
I know, but so does my son, but I do it all for him and then send him off. And
oh, no,
that's amazing.
She don't trust me to do it. She comes back with a cake like a stone.
It's important, though, isn't it? You know, I think schools stopped, what was it called, domestic science, whatever it was called. They stopped it, didn't they?
Well, they said it was sexist, because when I'm old enough to have done... I did domestic science and needlework, and the boys did car mechanics and woodwork.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they went, "Oh, God, that's way too sexist," so they stopped the whole thing.
Yeah, but now they've brought it back and everyone does everything, so the boys do cooking.
Because
but
Oliver,
Kira,
my 7-year-old boy, little boy, grandson, he does... Yes, no, I know.
It's a secret.
No, he does it every Tuesday, and after school, they all cook. And he, honest to God, absolutely loves it. It's changed him, you know what I mean? Because they cook with me, you see. They bake with me at home.
My daughter always says to me, "Oh, you know, can we bake a cake, Mummy?" And I'm like you, I'm not a great cook, so I just go and buy one of those packets off the shelf and we do it. But it's not really how you do it, it's kind of the time that you're spending together. It doesn't involve an electronic device. And I am quite fanatical about sitting down together around the, you know, we can't do it every day, but Sunday lunch is sacrosanct in our house. You're all there, the older kids, no mobile phones, no this, and you have proper chats. And actually our version of cooking is board games. I love playing cards and board games and stuff like that. And yes, we argue and we bicker, but at least we're not all just staring.
Well, surely
at a
it is.
box
That's
like
what
that.
it is all about. It's not necessarily about who prepares the meal. Because it's funny because you say, "Oh no, not in our house," but actually Ray does it. So actually, yes, in your house, just because it doesn't happen to be you that does the cooking.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say then we all sit down together at the same time, because the two older boys, they're either not at home or they've only got up an hour before dinner. You know, so they're not hungry, they want
just
the breakfast. And Kira's a fussy eater, so she eats different to what... So I normally cook what Kira wants, and it's all very strange.
You know, the worst thing that was ever invented was trays. They should have never invented trays. You know, the ones, and you can get them padded now, and you sit in front of the telly. Yeah, and also, do you remember TV dinners for one? Do you remember? And you used to go and buy them, and that's where it started from, I think. We can all sit down and we can have a little dinner on our own. Now, I won't have that. Everybody sits and everybody talks, but I do like a cracker. But if I can get crackers all through... Because you know when you have a dinner party, if you can have a cracker and pull a cracker, it breaks all the ice.
What do you do in July?
Ah, but you can get them, you see. I know where.
You'd be surprised how many houses don't have a dining table anymore. I'm not saying like an official dining room. I don't think many people have that anymore, who's got the space. But an actual table where you can, you know, sit around, either be it in the kitchen or in another room or whatever. A lot of people have got rid of those now, and I think that's a real shame.
My parents don't have a kitchen table. It's really funny. It's because they moved to a house that's got a really small kitchen, so when we go around for dinner, we all have to pick a counter. And you kind of lean and go, "This is really nice, Mum." But I do know what you mean. I think a lot of it is maybe not necessarily to do with the cooking together or anything like that. It's sitting round a table, switching the TV off, and being quite strict about...
I mean, my big chats with my kids are in the car. I call them car chats, you know, and a lot of the time you think, "Oh, I've got to drive them to here, there and everywhere." But actually, that's when we have quite good chats because they're not on their phone, they're not, you know, and the radio's just kind of on in background noise, and they're not doing eye contact with you, and you find out some really good stuff.
That's what I do. That's what I do with Oliver and Molly. We do with cooking. They come and bake. So they'll bake, you know, biscuits, and they'll knead dough. I mean, you wouldn't want to eat it. I can't feel, but it's gonna, because you can't imagine where their fingers. Yes, but we talk, and they talk away, and I've got pictures of them. They absolutely love it. And I remember as a kid cooking with my dad. And it was the most important time because I used to ask my dad all sorts of things. Yeah. And I don't know what we made, it didn't really matter, but we were cooking together. It's really important, I have to say, to cook with your kids.
I have to say, I was filming Kira a few weeks ago on my phone because she was making spaghetti bolognese that she'd learned to do at school, so she'd doing it at home. And she had a little pinny on. But while she was cooking, she didn't know I was filming her. She was singing at the top of her voice, but dancing, like her little hips were going. And she'd stop stirring to do this little action to this song. Brilliant. And then she caught me, and she went, oh. And then carried on singing.
All of this isn't actually about the activities, it's just about time. It's about giving your kids time. And all you know, you think with Christmas coming up, everybody frets and they go, I can't afford to buy them those really, you know, expensive trainers they want, or that blooming, those computer things that are like 500 quid, some of them. And you think, actually, kids just want your time.
Do you know what? Because I'm not a very good cook, but I do it with mine, with crafty things. So we make stuff, anything that's sticky and that you're cutting out. And it's the same thing, because you're not looking at each other, you can get loads out of them.
But they said that my boys are now 21 and 25. I think if I said, do you want to bake a cake or do some craft work, they'd just...
Is this your way of telling us we're all getting homemade Christmas presents?
Yeah.
Great, can't wait.
Well, I'll have another TV dinner on my own.
Oh, OK. All right, still to come. We'll be talking about...